Well, I guess that means I ran out of time for sharing the show because we've got the. Oh no, the video. Damn it! The video's broken!
It's not fun if it's not broken.
Deactivate. Activate. Oh, wait, hold on, wait for it. Oh, we'll come back to that one. We got a 2.
Ooh, I'll cover for the one. Oh,
In the top. Bam, okay, we're back. We got a.
It's still me.
Welcome back to the Truther Cast. Over to the Truther Cast. We are here to take your truth order, whether the camera works or not, folks. I might be able to get it to work again.
The computer just doesn't like your face today.
And sometimes it's just, you gotta unplug things and plug it back
That's
in.
rude, computer. You're basically calling
Oh,
ugly.
man.
Too ugly to be on camera today. Normally that's my job. Man,
This happened one time before here, folks. So maybe I'll get it working in a few, but
I swear it just takes a long time to boot back up. Is what happened last time. It took like an outrageous amount of time to come back. Because we didn't even know what it was. It just kind of, boop, hey, I'm back. It was like, what? What did you do? I didn't do anything. What did you do? Didn't do anything. Did you just unplug it again?
Yeah.
Okay. So, like I said, it takes an outrageous. So you just reset the timer again.
I don't know if I believe it works that way.
Well, I'm gonna put my money on it, and that's how we did it last time. But I mean, you got plenty of voice to, like the black screen's like maybe 40% of it, 60% of you is just your voice. So, it's not missing that much.
So Dan says, go ahead and continue with the intro to the show here, and we'll just imagine me on the right side of things. So if you are not familiar with the show, thank you so very much for stopping on by here. Things might be a little bit jank, but hey, man, isn't that like, where you find the honest and, more down to earth and neighborly like kind of shows, man, the ones that maybe aren't too primed and proper or perfected quite yet. So, hey, we're just attempting to, not be two more dudes complaining on the old internet because what we do here, folks, is we try to bring some news aggregation your way, like maybe a little bit of information about what the lamestream media has been lying about from last week or, just completely didn't tell you about at all. And how we do that, folks, is by hanging out here in the locals mustache community. This one's normally broken, but this one's way easy to fix.
Yeah. It looks like my mic's working on the screen. Wilkinson says maybe my mic wasn't working. Re-update, Wilkinson. Is my mic currently working or is it still broken? Like Scott's screen.
Yeah. Shoot. The microphones are not working. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. We got a live check from the live chat. Wilkinson is back. Maybe just Dan's. Maybe
it's a Hillary attack. We don't know.
Oh no, he already dropped the Hillary for the episode.
It's never too early for the Hillary in the episode.
Never
we might as well have
early.
her as the, intro. Might as well incorporate her right on in there.
I don't know if we'll have any viewers if we did
that. Yeah, they'd all scatter off like cockroaches. All right. She said the mics are good now.
Okay, we Gucci.
So
we Gucci on the microphones.
We're Gucci in our microphones.
Microphones Gucci, camera not Gucci. Butter. Yeah, I used it on another computer this week, and then now all of a sudden it don't want to work. And it's not a bandwidth problem because I got yours plugged into a different one, so little guy should just work. I don't know. Maybe I'll get it working during a video or something. There goes all the viewers. All the viewers are. See you later, man. Get your shit together. So we'll just show you things on the screen. You don't got to see my ugly face today. So if you are familiar with the show, thank you for coming on back. We appreciate the frequent flyers here at the Truth Your Cast, man. Because like everybody tells you, when you do a show, you really feel it, man. There's no point to do it if nobody watches. So thanks to all 15 of you that keep coming back. Make sure to share it to a friend this week so maybe we can double the viewership for next week.
You ever hear of the 98% and the 2%? You guys are the 2%. You guys are the winners that are going to get it done in the world because you are getting awareness and realization while everybody else is sucking that mainstream teat of sewage. Speaking of sewage, do you have in the locals this week on the RFK swimming in the sewage or whatever that they're trying to smear them on?
I did not see it and then thought it would have been a story good enough, but then I heard the Democrats are trying to use that as like an attack against them now.
Yeah, that's basically all I know about it. I heard I don't know if it's real that he actually went swimming in sewage. I bet it could.
Homie, the dude took like a dead deer and threw it in the middle of the town or something. Like the dude's scrappy, so
well, I mean,
maybe he needed to swim through some sewage.
I mean,
I've been in a sewage pipe a few times.
Bodies get dead every once in a while. Humans, animals, bugs. We touch dead body bits a lot. If anything, it'll just show you have an amazing immune system.
Right. Like he's all good, man. One might say that's how you build a good immune system.
Yeah, no, I mean, actually, that is very true. Your immune system, if it doesn't work at all, it's just like your muscles. If you don't work them, they don't get stronger. If you don't see a little bit of dirt and bacteria, your immune system is just hunky-dory, doesn't know what to do when an actual invader comes into your cells, so it's got to flex those immunity muscles to grow.
Right.
Yeah, this isn't advice to go roll it around in some garbage, though. Not a good idea. There's enough bacteria in the air.
Just close your eyes. Speaking of sewer drains, Wilkinson threw her disc golf into a sewage pipe recently. We were like, "There's the disc. Oh no, there's no way it's gonna go." Zoop! It's gone. Went right into the under the street drain sewage thing.
Yeah.
About halfway under the street. So it was there for about 2 days, and a helpful disc golf man in the group got his homies grabbed the disc stick thingy, and they ended up getting it out. So hell yeah!
Got an extra long gopher grabber stick.
It's like it's like $140, but they make it for getting your disc right, and it's basically just a ball of suckers, so that you can extend it like 150 feet and pop, and just like stick to the disc and pull it out the water. Not 150. It's like 40 foot maybe, but it's like long AF.
Like gopher grabber things.
Right.
Yeah, I would have thought they would have just extended one of those.
Right.
Yeah,
but the sucker thing's like pretty simple because you just got to bop it to it.
Yeah, the suckers are pretty good, huh?
Right. Yeah, everybody was using them when we went and saw the.
If you put alien tape on those
game.
suckers, you really,
hell
really
yeah,
business.
Bro, those things ain't moved, man. We used alien tape on the whiteboard, and that ain't moved one bit.
Come on, alien tape, sponsor us.
Yeah. Alien tape's legit AF, bro. It does work just like seen on TV.
Yeah. I mean, as corny as a lot of that stuff seems, a lot of the time, or maybe it's just nostalgic, is like, oh, one of those late night commercials. They're on late night TV and they sell millions of the product for a reason. Half of them are some pretty decent products. They work pretty all right.
I agree.
Are they all American made? Probably not. Hopefully soon they will be, and then they'll be even better.
Yeah, you think they make alien tape in the United States?
I mean, I would think for how sticky it is, it's got to be a 3M product, but not too sure on that, or a sub company. Dang, yeah. Wilkins saying, if I'm not up on this mic it cuts out. I gotta be one with the mic.
You do got to do that, but we could back it up a little bit because I had to make you tight AF when we had a guest the other day.
Yeah.
Give me a little bit farther back talk.
Oh, a little bit further back.
Nah, that ain't no
Oh
good.
yeah, right here is holy cow. Yeah, it is literally about. Yeah, I gotta be right up on.
And so that's how a microphone should work. You're supposed to just be right up on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we're supposed to leave it like that.
All right.
But you were holding it last week, so then I was like, all right, perfect.
Yeah. Sometimes I get a little far away from it.
All right.
For the most part.
It's like when you forget you're on a show, right?
Yeah. You just get to talking. Forget that you're part of this huge internet personality now.
So on that note, folks, let's get into this thing. Like blah, blah, blah. Share the show. It's a free way to do thingies. Dan likes to tell you why it's good.
Avoid the hoage, share the showage.
Yep. So you can not be a hoe if you share the show for free. If you got $1 in a computer, sign up.toleratech.com in the box down below. I'll help you protect your computer and answer all your stupid tech questions. So it's pretty sweet. Get a like-minded tech guy.
Right.
And you might see Revival Tech, which is my company, the sponsor of this show, on the Babylon Bee one day pretty soon.
Right.
Yeah.
The Babylon Bee
ain't going to do it for free, but, That
bee gets around.
Right? When
that
did
bee
we...
is never wrong either.
Okay, so... Yeah. So this is 7 days ago. So we still had a bunch of the trade information. If you didn't see that one, share this. So if you're not familiar with the show, we love giving you receipts so you can just share these over to your friends, families, or foes to try and help bring some awareness. So every time we show you these, we recommend following these good friends of the shows here that we find these informational news tidbits on. This one's coming in from Benny Johnson over on X. You can follow him on YouTube or X. But these are great to show people that think, the world still doesn't respect us because Donald Trump, and all that kind of BS, right? So he inks a freaking this one's $600 billion or something with Mohammed bin Salman, which I don't know if that's that's not Saudi Arabia.
I'm pretty sure it's Saudi.
Because then I heard theirs was like an $8 trillion deal, and I was like, excuse me? And then he went over to Qatar, and he signed a $1 trillion deal with the Qataris, and they're going to buy a bunch of our Boeing planes or
all
some shit.
I know is we're at like 10 trillion in investment.
Bro. Yeah.
And our economy is crippling. It's so bad. Blah, 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 blah.
It's not because of the last presidency. It's because of the last 2 months of presidency.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm buying that
Big
bullshit.
old steaming pile of bull.
Yeah, dude.
That was a great speech.
This one was pretty awesome, right?
Normally, the prince over there doesn't ever come out of his palace. Like, you have to go to him.
Right.
And he actually came out to greet Trump.
Yeah.
So y'all that think like, the people out there, their leaders hate Trump. Nope. One of the richest men in the planet did him an uttermost sign of respect, coming out and actually greeting him outside of his palace, going and listening to the speech.
I think I do have that one. I was like, what's the difference between him and Biden?
It honestly was a great speech too, because he was talking about, instead of all of us blowing each other up, how about we all make money together? Holy cow, what? And the Democrats still hate on this guy. Like, how can you were the party of peace and love, and then you want prosperity too? I mean, that would be great, right? You don't have to have it, but it generally goes with the peace and love thing. And he just talked all about that, and everybody was just up in arms. Everybody stood up applauding. It was a great moment. What a fantastic speech. Made you feel like the world had a little bit of love in it again. And, Democrats hate this guy.
He was inspiring?
Yeah. Yeah, for us, the whole world to ban. So, that kind of gets me when I say that, gets me a little weary. The whole world banding together because their goal, the whole agenda here from the deep state is one world government. I mean, would it be that bad of idea? I guess you got to think about it. Like if we're all on the same page about having freedoms and our rights not all trampled on, and where we still have privacy, maybe it wouldn't be that bad. But the way they've been pitching the one world government, yeah, it makes me worried that maybe that is part of the play.
Yeah, eat bugs, live in pod, not for me.
Yeah, and he's trying to band the whole world together. So it's like, oh, that's great. But then it's like, wait a minute, like, yeah, as long as you're not in with them trying to do that whole 2030 agenda thing, I'm for it. But we got to be careful here because, man, that sucks that it's that tricky. Hey, got it to work. Yeah, look at that. So it's just the USB extension.
Whatever USB that one's on must be just freaking out, and it can only handle the microphones, and it wasn't doing the bandwidth for the camera, so I just got it on a different USB.
Well, at least we figured it out.
Oh man.
Whoop.
Oh no, Dan's falling asleep already. Well, maybe this will wake you up, bro.
Patty's hit me.
It wasn't just the Qatari prince guy, it wasn't just the Saudi prince guy, right? Because the Saudi one's bigger than Qatari. And then, it was like Biden, they didn't even show up for him, and he had to meet one of his underlings, and then they drove him into the place, Like the Saudi prince came out to meet Trump, drove him in his special car or something. So
and the mobile McDonald's.
So then he goes to see the Qataris. Is it? I couldn't tell. Is this Saudi or Qataris? I think the Qataris did this one, bro. But this is bonkers. Benny Johnson intros are funny.
Step of the way.
So this is when he was at one of them. I don't know. So the purple stuff, they're making a big deal of that, but Steelman the argument, it was purple for Joe Biden too. But they brought him out that mobile McDonald's like you were saying. Yeah. Yeah, Biden had purple stairs too. I mean, that's just the color of the stairs out there.
If anybody knows history, that's the color of royalty.
Right. Right. But there's pictures of Biden showing up and he had purple stairs too, so it wasn't some special Trump thing. But there was a weird threat on the way out there.
It don't matter who it is, whatever. Why are we all up in arms about stairs being purple? Who gives a shit?
Well, no, people were being like, bro, they pull out all the purple for Trump and blah, blah, blah. Oh, bro, So I'm just saying. But there was a weird scare, so they flew out 4 fighter jets, or 6? 8. I think 6. 3 on each side. So they had 6 jets out there bringing in the, the good old United States president on Air Force One. So that was kind of cool.
That's a presence right there. That's a way to have an intro.
And this plane is huge, bro. I did not understand how big this thing was.
Oh, dude, it's massive.
Yeah, right?
It's 2 apart, probably 3, 4 apartments on wings. There's an upper and a lower deck.
Right. This is from the fighter. So then the other crazy thing they did for him was they had a motorcade of red Cybertrucks.
I was going to say, look at their freaking Cybertrucks.
That's awesome. So a hat tip to Mr. Elon as well. They're really pulling out all the stops here for this guy. And then they had 100 camels.
That's
okay, man, that's what's up.
That's the major humpage right there.
And it was a Wednesday, so it was all on hump day.
Hey.
What do you know?
Mike.
And then they were doing some sword dancing. So, all right, they're really going all out here for the guy. But yeah, man.
I wonder how white knuckled all the Secret Service were when there's a bunch of people with swords in the vicinity of the front.
So you've double vetted everybody here, right? So yeah, man, this was Qatari, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, dude. I just don't understand how. I mean, they're running out of fake news on like Trump's horrible economy. I really see a lot less personally.
I mean, they're still trying, but it's all just absolutely them just trying to lie.
Like a few of them have even come out and been like, "No, he's doing good now."
Yeah, yeah. But that's what I'm saying. Like the ones that are still even trying, it's just like total tomfoolery line.
Right? Oh, computer's having a tough time with the USBs. Just went out on me.
That's a lot of camels, folks. I don't think I've ever seen so many camels in one spot before in my life.
Yeah, I heard it was like 100. Like, damn. All right then. I didn't know
I'm
there was
sure
that many
there's a whole lot
camels.
more camels than that in the world, but that is a whole lot in one place.
Right.
They still got horses over there.
Yeah, why you think just because they got camels, they don't let them have horses?
You'd think it might be too hot over there for the horses, but the horses are like, no, it's all right.
They probably treat it a lot better than the camels, man. The
Probably.
camels, they leave them outside. Bring
Probably
the
some-
horses inside, you know, like.
Probably some special breed of horses got used to it over there too. I mean, they have done horseback fighting for centuries over
Right.
there too. So.
Yep. So Trump's greeted pretty well, folks. It does not seem like he is, not accepted on the world stage here or anything. This speech here was pretty good. We can check this one out here from Daddy Trump.
The transformations have been unbelievably remarkable. Before our eyes, a new generation of leaders is transcending the ancient conflicts of tired divisions of the past and forging a future where the Middle East is defined by commerce, not chaos, where it exports technology, not terrorism, and where people of different nations, religions, and creeds are building cities together, not bombing each other out of existence. We don't want that. And it's crucial for the wider world to note this great transformation has not come from Western interventionalists or flying people in beautiful planes giving you lectures on how to live and how to govern your own affairs. No, the gleaming marvels of Riyadh and Abu Dhabi were not created by the so-called nation builders, neocons, or liberal nonprofits like those who spent trillions and trillions of dollars failing to develop Kabul, Baghdad, so many other cities. Instead, the birth of a modern Middle East has been brought by the people of the region themselves, the people that are right here, the people that have lived here all their lives, developing your own sovereign countries, pursuing your own unique visions and charting your own destinies in your own way. It's really incredible what you've done. In the end, the so-called nation builders wrecked far more nations than they built, and the interventionists were intervening in complex societies that they did not even understand themselves. They told you how to do it, but they had no idea how to do it themselves. Peace, prosperity, and progress ultimately came not from a radical rejection of your heritage, but rather from embracing your national traditions and embracing that same heritage that you love so dearly.
Just another great one. There's Elon right there with the mix.
So I guess what like he was getting at is like what we've been trying to do is export democracy. We've been trying to force our views, our political opinions, moralities or religions on a lot of these people and stuff like that. And his version is like, hey, do what you're going to do. Let's do business, make money. So you could say like Trolley's already kind of getting at, oh, he only likes brown people when they give him money. Like, everybody likes anybody that gives them money. And like, that is how the world works, right? So if you're a poor person, you think all rich people and anybody with money are horrible people. If you're a rich person, you understand that the only thing that matters is how do I get more money?
Or things, money.
Resources. Right?
Yeah. Just gifts, basically.
Well, resources, stored energy, man. The more energy you have, the more power you have, the more leverage you have. And the only reason that
is
Donald
giving.
Trump is doing all this shit is because how much money just seems to energize towards him.
That whole giving, you know, if
Just-
you give, you end up getting back.
Just had a 2-hour talk with Putin, blah, blah. They're going to start talking about peace or something, allegedly. You know, Trump just posted today. So, you know, what are you going to do, man? You know, it works when you do business with people and bring money around. People act right.
Yeah, the Brits are happy with the situation.
Chinese are happy they inked that deal last week, right?
Did they actually?
30% in, 10% out. And he did all of that the weekend before he went and did this. So he's just got them all lined up, bro. Crazy.
We're about to start pumping an economy here. Real strong economy. Everybody's, if you follow mainstream, they're just still going to be, you know, actually, this past week, they've turned to cricket on the whole. They've given up, had to given up on tariffs are bad. There.
Yeah, no, they can't no more, bro.
Narrative.
They're running out of it.
There's too much evidence against it. They know the people are dumb, but they're not like that ignorant to seeing all the facts fly around. Like $10 trillion. Okay, a third of our entire nation's debt that we've racked up over years. And he just got that investment that's going to happen over. Do you know if it's going to be a year or just over like his presidency?
Which one?
The 10 trillion that's going to come in. Are we going to see all that investment within the year, or is it basically going to be over the next few years?
So I haven't heard a time frame. This is just like committed money, but I haven't heard like a over XYZ. And if I were him though, it would be like, how do we blow all this money tomorrow? Because one, I need this machine to start chooching so I can like, you know, start doing things with it.
Yeah, we start paying down that $30 trillion in debt.
And then I did something quick. I look good, and maybe it's more likely to continue when I'm like out of this term.
Yeah. Good stuff. Got to focus on the main thing, which is getting us out of debt. Everybody's
100%, bro.
You know, crying about that Epstein list and all sort of stuff, but I think it's just it's down the road.
I know, right? This is like important.
Making these deals, you're on the phone with every other people all day long.
It's like important economic stuff. It's how you make the sales and the money, but like holding like people accountable, bro, is gotta happen. Because one of the James O'Keefe's from this last week, like if you find us on YouTube before it goes away, this episode might go away, but find us over on Rumble, folks. Truthercast.com. You can find all the info. The first video from inside the island.
Was this the two guys?
I haven't seen a two guys thing.
Home without a realtor? Would you canoe without a life jacket? Would you ride on the back of a motorcycle without hanging on tight to your girlfriend? I'm your girlfriend. People want a house that speaks to them, or not a house that actually speaks to them. They'd have to disclose that to the buyer, which would be awkward. Although, I guess you could always have the house tell them.
What's up, guys? It's Benny. Last week, federal law enforcement finally admitted that they've been covering up for Jeffrey Epstein and his sick crimes.
And so these first videos out of this place, bro, are like messed up. I don't even want to pull up the imagery. So he was kind of going down the rabbit hole of like, you know, John Podesta and all the jacked up things they got in their like art collection and whatnot. And then like the art that was that we did hear about that was at Epstein Island, you know, like all the Bill Clinton one in the dress, and the Bush one where he's knocking down the Jenga towers, which both of them we've now found out that they were made after the event, so it wasn't like, you know, conspiracy theory and stuff. But inside this home, the first video of this one, I believe, is a kitchen, and they found these like weird paintings of like a baby in a like sink with like a phallic looking rattle.
Is that you, Trolley, in the kitchen you're just talking about? I think that's you in there.
And then like behind him, is a famous painting, and the painting means like something dying out of water or being rescued from dying out of the water. And so then it's like, well, that's a weird one to have a little kid in a sink with water. Yeah. Like it's like nothing too damning, but hey, James O'Keefe is a good
ritualistic.
Is a good hype guy, right? James is a good hype guy, so this is like one of the first videos released. So if you're into the Epstein stuff, you might want to check this out. This one is from the good friend Benny Johnson again here, but they have since dropped another video, which was of Epstein's bedroom. And the most interesting thing on that one is I want to know who all these people are that are on his speed dial. Like there's 2 landline phones on each nightstand, and it's got like old school, just like handwritten names in the slot with a button you press, like old OG style. And I'm like, yeah, why don't we know who these names are, man?
On Tuesday, I get Melinda. On Thursday,
most of them are dudes, though. Most of them are like business, I think. Or orders? I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Who knows? I mean, shoot, if I had an order for a certain type of food on speed dial that I could order up.
Like a Diet Coke?
I mean, for me, it wouldn't be a Diet Coke.
Yeah, I
Maybe
agree.
a regular Coke and a Red Bull. Those would probably be on there. But definitely some brisket, a steak, street-style tacos.
I'd probably have jalapeno poppers on order, dog.
Ooh.
If I was like Prez, I'd have a jalapeno poppers button, dog.
Be a good one.
They'd be like, sir, your cholesterol's gone up 150 points since you've been in office. The jalapeno poppers is 5, man.
I'm good. Did you ever see President Taft? I'm fine. I'm not stuck in the bathtub
Greg
yet.
in the kitchen make them bomb, bro. Greg, the White House chef, is the shit. I got a bunch of quickies this week, too, man, or like, you know, some little ones here. We don't got to go on it too long, man. Everyone gets the point. But word on the street is Daddy Trump might pardon Derek Chauvin because he kind of got like a bunk trial because, you know, the whole fact of the autopsy report showing that George Floyd didn't die of, you know, asphyxiation of being choked or anything.
That would probably be good for him.
It was a heart failure, and it had something to do with maybe, we're not medical professionals, but we speculate here at Truthercast, Mr. George Floyd passing away may have had something to do with him having 11 milligrams of fentanyl in his system when the lethal dose allegedly is 3.
Yep.
So that's like almost 4x more.
He must have been from Texas. He went bigger.
Yeah.
Bigger than nothing.
Wacko.
Go
So
big or go home.
if they were to release the Derek Chauvin, that would be unfortunate because I guarantee they'll use this as fuel to try and start BLM Antifa riots again. But I kind of want to test it because who's funding it now? Are they going to actually spend their own money instead of taxpayer money through USAID this time?
I mean, the only thing that sucks is if any innocent people or businesses get, you know, screwed up.
Right.
Other than that, let them do it. Let them show more of their true colors and who they are. They're going to slip up. We're going to find out more info. We're going to be able to pin them into actual jail cells easier.
You know, this made me...
The more they, you know, frag out with that stuff.
This just made me think, bro. So we're paying... What did we find out the other day? It was like $3 to $7K to send a criminal alien back home.
Yeah, I think it was $3,500.
So let's say it's $4,000, right? Why can't we just pay United States Americans $4,000 to move to a better state? Call me crazy and biased because I live in Illinois, but
I was gonna say
that'd
be one for Illinois, right?
if I could get like 5 stacks and towards like moving my ass to a different state,
yeah.
and then it'd have to be like you can't tell us what state to go to because they could be like, well, they're just trying to move them into their state. Because if Biden did that, we'd be salty, right? Like if they just paid everybody to move to Chicago or Cali or whatever. So it's got to be just like everybody gets it. And it's fruit basket mix up. Everybody go where you want to go, okay?
I mean, if it was a bunch of Reds going into Chicago, I don't know, it wouldn't be that bad, But the thing is, I don't think they would take the money too because they know what Chicago's like, and they're like, no, I'm good.
That's what I'm saying. So I'd pack up everything, take my $5K, rent me out a U-Haul, and take my ass down to Tennessee or Missouri or Maybe Oklahoma, like I was saying, bro. Oklahoma just passed this gun law where you can now pull out your gun to protect your property, which I didn't understand that needed a law, but apparently that was needed over in Oklahoma.
We've came a little off the rocker since our founding fathers' time.
Right.
Yeah. There's been a lot of distractions. People don't know that you can't brandish a firearm in regards to protecting your land.
You can do /TimCast, but you got to use that
Now
promo
you
code.
can in Oklahoma. And apparently you could in the movies, but apparently not in real life.
Yeah, like movies aren't always real, I guess.
A lot of them are based off true events, But, I guess brandishing lawful stuff is not portrayed correctly in movies at all.
Small possible good news that may not mean one damn thing, but the Pope's brother apparently is Team MAGA. And the sister. So they're like Team MAGA out of Chicago. That's interesting.
I was going to say, they're from Chicago too. That's surprising.
I believe so. I thought that was possibly good.
Yeah.
At least he's got some good family influences.
Yeah.
Oh, man. So right out of the gate, man, in his first major congressional hearing as the HHS secretary, Mr. RFK Jr. just laid out a sweeping plan to reshape the HHS from the ground up, man. This is pretty sweet.
Let me be clear. We intend to make the Trump HHS not just the most effective, but also the most compassionate in U.S. history. Our official budget statement outlines many priorities, but I will highlight a few. First, we will consolidate programs to better tackle mental health and addiction. These issues now rival chronic disease in their impact. HHS will aggressively combat the opioid crisis, especially the spread of synthetic drugs like fentanyl. We will empower state, local, and tribal leaders to create effective solutions. Second, we will address nutrition, physical activity, and healthy lifestyles. The president's budget requests $94 billion in discretionary funds to support these priorities, including the Administration for a Healthy America. We will emphasize healthy eating and Head Start and ensure the program continues to serve its 750,000 children and parents effectively. Third, we will equip the FDA to expand its food safety efforts through research, regulations, independence, and education to remove harmful chemicals from food and packaging. And we're already doing this more aggressively than any other administration in history. We will fund cutting-edge research at the NIH while cutting risky or non-essential services. That includes ending of gain-of-function experiments and research based upon radical gender.
Amen.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
That is great. I was...
That's what we thought they did the first time.
Right, yeah, you thought.
Ideology.
Man, I'd have to say his security personnel, or the guy on the left, he barely blinks at all.
Yeah, people that don't blink weird me out, bro. I don't trust them.
I mean, I would trust him because he's looking out for me, so those eyes are open the whole time, checking on things. He barely misses a moment. There's very little moments that somebody could give me because he is seeing all of it.
That's one of those where you're like, oh shit, I picked the wrong seat. I'm behind the guy talking.
I was gonna say that.
Don't do anything weird. Don't do anything weird. Don't do anything weird.
That's the guy to the right. You can tell watching his eyes wander. There's one point where he ended up looking at the camera and having that moment of fruition, just like, oh, the camera's right there. I'm pretty sure it sees me. All right, act cool.
Who keeps their head forward and looks around like that? That's kooky. I move my head like a dummy.
Yeah, all he does is pander his eyes for the most part. He did a little bit of head movement, but it's just eyes back and forth, back and forth. The other dude, I want to know if he's like chewing on a snack or chewing on gum. If he's got a dip in, man, he's just like on one. The guy on the left, like, I would have him in my security personnel if I had. I'd trust him. He's doing good.
Most def.
Yeah, here's the ADHD guy.
RFK saying he's going to do some dope shit was the key point here.
Yeah. And RFK also has pretty good Secret Service behind him.
Amen.
Second point.
All right. But yeah, man, getting rid of that gain of function shit, bro. That's allegedly what we did, but then we funded it over in Wuhan, so maybe we can put another way to stop that shit. God dang.
Oh, and there just happened. Don't forget about the biolabs that they're starting in Ukraine.
Yep. That was already going on, right?
I can't say for sure. Remember for sure if it already was, but I know the new building after stuff had been starting to get flattened over there. There was, or in the paperwork, there's plans to get biolabs up.
Are you saying that the United States wanted to start a war over in Ukraine so that it would remove pesky citizens and then they could build it back to suit their financial needs?
Not what I'm ultimately saying, but there is, some possibility of that showing itself through the murky waters. Yeah,
See-
that's a possibility of something coming to the surface.
So you're saying it's one of those, how do you say it? Oh, yeah, coincidences?
Yeah, slightly coincidental.
Just another coincidence, folks. Nothing to see here. Nothing to see here. Okay, yeah, here are some interesting details on the Qatari thing. Interesting details of the Qatari deal that might just blow your mind, this guy says. Random dude on the X. $96 billion to Boeing/GE in the largest. People tell me it's the largest aviation deal ever. I don't know if this is true, but people tell me that. 150,000 American jobs annually? It's almost like this dude knows how to work a deal, bro.
They're gonna be a whole lot less. There's gonna be 150,000 less people smoking pot all of a sudden because they're gonna be looking for that good aerospace job.
Or smoking more pot, bro. Depends on what kind of job, you know.
Anywhere in the aerospace industry, you can't really do that.
Well, if you just like,
Not as far as I'm aware
make the
of.
seat cushions, you might be able to get away with it at that kind of job, you know. I don't know.
Maybe, but I don't know. I feel like that's how Boeing got themselves into the position where they're at nowadays.
No, this is DEI hiring.
Yeah. That's
Well, you're telling me that none of the DEI people smoke weed? I know everybody does. A million plus jobs will be totally impacted. Real paychecks for real Americans is what that means, folks.
Yeah, people going to have to deliver the parts. People going to have to deliver the finished product. All sorts of extra jobs going to be coming in on that one.
$8.5 billion to McDermott Energy. I don't know what that one is, but energy deal. That's another one that's funny, dude. When it's just the smarter you are, man, the more things you pick up on, duh. So like whenever Trump's getting interviewed, man, they're like, yeah, sir, but like, how are you going to fix the economy? You said you was going to fix it. So like, how are you going to do it? And he's like, we're going to make great deals with energy. It's going to be a lot of energy deals. We're going to do that. I asked you like, how? And he's like, so with energy was going to make everything cheaper because if you get cheaper energy, it just fixes everything. It's like, bro, you got to get somebody to be your like layman translator that's like, yo, so check it. Cheaper this energy means the truck's cheaper, means the thing's cheaper.
I'm gonna
like,
call this guy I know up in Alberta, gonna tell him we're gonna siphon some of his energy and we're gonna both make money, gonna cut him a deal here. And that means if I'm paying less, that means you guys are gonna pay less, which means more money in your pocket. You use a lot of energy, so you got to use either way. So, everybody's going to be saving money whether they like it or not. And then all of a sudden you got more money to put into the economy and buy things. And then that money then goes to them companies, which goes to its employees and its overall profits to then make more factories and more jobs and more people get more money.
And that's why Daddy Trump doesn't explain anything on the camera.
Yep, because ain't nobody got time for that.
Everyone's like, yeah, I tuned out like 15 hours ago.
That was the layman's term. $97
$97 billion to Parsons infrastructure projects, Wait, wasn't Biden all about like the infrastructure bill, the infrastructure bill?
Yeah. I thought, he
Did we
was
make
going to
any-
redo all the roads,
Yeah,
and all the bridges,
did we do any of that?
and all of that.
Sure, he did that in frickin' Illinois. I'll tell you that.
I know
God
there
dang.
was some billions sent to bringing internet, or no, the charging stations more places.
Well, and that internet bill sucked too.
Yeah, and they
didn't hook up one house with
I don't
internet.
even think they had one charging station. They might have gotten one done with several $1 billion.
So I wonder if it's the same thing. I wonder if that's the same story or if you're blending them. Because the broadband thing was not one home got connected to internet, and it was like billions, like $6 billion or something, like ridiculous.
Can we say funnel?
Yeah. So like, where'd all that money go? $1 billion is going to go to quantum computing investment. So, that's good. We want to be on top of the quantum computing world. Massive defense wins. $3 billion to Raytheon General Atomics. Interesting. So is General Atomics just another defense company like Raytheon, I imagine?
Yeah.
First international buyer of FS Lids anti-drone system. Okay, so we have an anti-drone system for sale, and this is going to be the first international buyer. That's neat. You always got to get one review, and then all of a sudden the other sales will go, right?
Yeah, it normally helps.
MQ-9B aircraft exports, whatever the hell that is. What's an MQ-9B?
And I'm sure it's a
Oh,
Reaper
the dope
drone.
drones.
Yeah, it's a Reaper drone.
The Reaper drone. So we're gonna start giving those to other people.
It was Obama's favorite drone.
Yeah, the one that he killed a whole bunch of civilians with, collateral damage wise.
Yeah,
right.
That one.
Speaking of Obama, Michelle Obama this week said that she cries herself to sleep over all of the people that Donald Trump is deporting. But what we all want to know is how the poor woman got by when her husband deported more people than Trump.
Yeah, that's what I'd like to know. Because, we're not anywhere on schedule to deport as many as Obama did at the rate we're doing it.
I think he has to try harder, I believe. Yeah. We looked it up last
the people,
week or two.
The people want him to do it. But he did announce they are part of the big, beautiful bill is he's going to be hiring lots and lots more ICE agents.
I heard that got shot down already.
The big, beautiful
Salty.
bill?
Yeah.
Congress shot it down, huh?
I believe it got shot down already, so now we got to go back for round 2. Let's go to our good friend Garak. Did the big, beautiful bill get passed? Let's see what we can get on a live update here. Has not been passed. Cleared the House Budget Committee with a 17-16 vote. Okay. Still faces challenges. Bill is advancing towards potential House floor. Okay, I thought I heard bad news on this, so maybe not yet. As of possibly by May 21st. So it might be coming up this Wednesday when the House floor votes on it. However, it lacks full Republican support. Key factors. Yeah, bro. Our guy Thomas Massey's against this because it's got like some one thing in there he don't like.
Well,
I'm like, but it says it's big and beautiful.
There's a whole lot of things that have one small thing you don't like about it.
I know, it's tricky.
You don't gotta throw the baby out with the bathwater.
It's tricky. And a narrow House majority means just 4 Republicans, no votes, could sink it. Very, very interesting.
Lame.
Any other big factoids here of the Qatari deal? He said, let me break this down. We're not talking theoretical numbers. These are real jobs in Kansas, South Carolina, Ohio.
Oh, you mean for the regular person, not somebody that's going to suck up federal government job money for sitting in a desk and telling and just reposting lies on social media to persuade the general population, which is what Biden was doing. And, oh, look, we got all these jobs that I'm creating.
You mean jobs for the low and middle class, huh? Interesting. It's almost like a guy that made a living on making people work for him wants to help make sure that there's more people to work for him and other dudes. That's the tricky thing about rich people, dog, is they give your ass a job.
Yeah, a good paying job. You either can go in competition against them, or you can take the money and live a fun. Because how many people? A lot of people. Let's be honest. They are not trying to have a whole bunch going on. They want to find that girl. They want to have kids, raise a family, have a decent home where it's just big enough and not too much to take care of because that's a lot of work. And just enjoy the kids growing up, taking them to school, doing the whole American life thing they did. You enjoy, all your friends at high school doing events.
You mean the American dream?
Life. Yep, that whole American dream that's been sold to us.
Yeah, I never bought that bullshit, so.
Yeah.
I didn't have no problem with it, but, I'm a stubborn son of a bitch that always wants to be a counterculture, so.
I mean, it's good. It's a good thing, like instead of, especially from where we used to be, you have to slave away every day just to find your meals, make sure everything's taken care of for the family. Everything's much more streamlined now. You can actually focus spending your time with your family instead of out there working. I mean, with this economy, now it's back to doing that. But you're not halfway killing yourself like we have to used to. Work in the fields, going halfway across the state on horseback.
Them's the old days. So the fake news media will not tell you that $2 billion trade surplus is being made with Qatar. $3.3 billion Qatar investments into the United States and 20 plus years of positive trade balance. So this is a $1 trillion deal in like, let's repeat. It's a $2 billion trade surplus. So like we make $2 billion on the deal. So they were cool enough to say, yeah, no, fine, you make money.
Well, I mean, you know what always gets me? Every time you hear about them talking about Elon in the mainstream, oh, the richest man in the world, blah, 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 blah. No, he's not. He's like a baby.
Who?
Elon.
Oh, I know, right? I don't understand why they all say that.
He's a billionaire.
So technically,
he hasn't touched trillion yet, right?
I believe there is no such person that's a trillionaire. It's a family. So technically, he's the richest person.
Because it is the families, I believe, that are trillionaires over in
Saudi Arabia, right.
But so what? Do they not understand what trillions means to billions? You got to pick up that video on the gumballs or the grains of rice to visualize like
I love showing that video
because that will make you understand like, okay, yeah, no, he is a small drop in the bucket compared to these people that have trillions to their family name. Oh, let's not forget the Rockefellers.
right, but they're families, so they're like in trusts or the family group. Because I always said that too.
All rich people do it.
Well, I know, but I looked this up one time and then I was like, oh, I see. He's the only dude that's that net worth of his own wealth. That's not in like a something family group trust or something. Because that's what I would always say. Like, what about the 13 families, bro? Like, oh, they've been around for forever manipulating shit. They got to have more money than Elon.
So he's more at risk than all of them if he doesn't have it in a
Mohammed bin Salman's personal net worth is estimated to only $25 billion. But he controls the Saudi Arabia's public investment fund and state assets such as Saudi Aramco, valued at $1.9 trillion. So it's not even his family? The trillion number is the whole like effing state or state assets and investment fund.
What did you ask, Rob?
That's interesting. Is Elon really the richest person on earth? What about the secret people or the Saudis? Saudi prince is only $16 billion. So they're not as rich as that little thing that goes around when it's like, yeah, but the Saudis $1 trillion or whatever.
Might have been some.
Yeah, see, like we
bogus
were saying.
info out there before.
Well, I'm sure they don't report their taxes. Yeah, but like, you know, he'd be richest like public dude, blah, 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 whatever, right? You know? But I think that's a good receipt to send somebody like Trolley. If you got like a friend, a family, or a troll in your life that's like, Donald Trump bad, brr, 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 brr. They saturated his face and made him orange again. It makes me angry. Brr. You know, go ahead and just like send him this post where it explains how the Qatari deal actually works, where looks like America's going to benefit monetarily and joblistically. I made that one up. But yeah, man.
Sounds good. Joblistically.
Good factoids to have for your mind bullets, I might say. People tell me you need mind bullets to debate people.
People won't tell you that we're shooting ourselves in the foot with the Qatar and Saudi deals. We are not.
I mean, we could be, but right now, no.
I don't see how we could be, but I can't see it all. I don't see it coming. People don't understand how this works. Primarily, they don't understand the difference between money and currency in the first place. So,
all right, so let's
I'm gonna put my bet on it.
Let's get the chat's opinion here, and Mr. Dan, of course, you know. So, what do y'all think about the whole James Comey? Oh, took a picture with seashells and rocks that spelled out 8647.
Like, you know what those numbers mean.
So we use them to say we should remove Joe Biden from office. But now we're saying they mean murder someone. So I feel like it's a little bit like I'm on the fence on this one, man.
I mean,
it means
deniability.
It means to murder somebody according to the mafia and like the police.
Yeah, police code.
And then he claims he had no idea. So I think the lying is another thing, but this isn't a crime. So, like, we're investigating him.
They're trying to say that he's inciting violence.
Tulsi Gabbard's threatening jail.
I mean, I would argue this is more inciting violence than, like, let's bring it up to January 6th.
Right.
He said go peacefully protest.
Right.
Okay, so how does when somebody say the words go peacefully protest, he actually at least gave instructions to go peacefully.
And use the word peacefully.
Exactly. And Comey put up something that he didn't state exactly what he wanted with it. It just was you could take it for however you wanted to. So I'd say that is worse in inciting violence than Trump inciting violence. On which it's still just so stupid to say. Like, I don't know how they still run with it. He incited violence on Jan 6th. Okay, so when I tell you to go, kiss your mother on the cheek, tell her goodbye, I totally was actually meaning by that for you to roundhouse kick her and say, down the hole you go, just like a Sparta. Different kick, but you get the point. Down the hole of death. Not like that's. It's not opposite day.
Well, so then
is that what we missed? Was it Wednesday? Was it opposite day when Trump said go peacefully protest, and everybody was just like, yeah, what he really means is we're gonna be violent and like kill a bunch of people and do bad shit. No, it literally hurts the brain. It makes me feel like I'm getting stupider.
So what's tricky though is if we're to say he didn't say go kill the president, but we're upset because all of the lefty supporters that hate Donald Trump said that means go kill president. They're saying the same thing about Jan 6. Donald Trump saying go peacefully protest was a dog whistle for go start a riot and break windows and go like create havoc and go try to hang Mike Pence and bring a pipe bomb over to Kamala Harris. So it's like, okay, so I'm biased. I don't think that was a dog whistle at all. We literally wanted to go peacefully protest because we believe the votes were fraudulent. The whole thing was fraudulent.
Yep.
And then he says 86-47. Maybe he literally thought, man, there's no way that anyone's going to take this as like, go kill the president. But 100% people are saying, yeah, guys, we agree. We should go kill the president when they're reposting this 86-47 stuff. Like, people are literally posting and saying that. Yeah. And so it's like, okay, well, those guys are committing a crime. I think the random people need to be investigated.
Yeah, their hard drives need to be checked.
Like, that's crazy. But then Comey, he was like the FBI director, bro. Can you imagine if Kash Patel posted this?
Yeah.
You know, during like they would freaking lose their mind. Yep. So I do think we should take this serious to some regard, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they have opened up an investigation, I believe.
That's what this was saying right here. But I think it's almost stupid because it's like, bro, it's a stupid picture. It wasn't very insightful. Hey, we're like drawing all this, but they'd kind of do it to us. So I feel like we shouldn't just let it go willy-nilly.
I mean, it just seems like one of those weird coincidences yet again. I mean, and that's what I'm saying. Like, there's plausible deniability. So, you can't say for sure since he didn't put any words to it. But knowing his stance on things, and then normally what the numbers mean. I mean, we just dealt with this with Kilmar Obrega's tattoos on the hand.
Right.
There's just
lies and ignorance, bro. We should Photoshop the 86-47. Like, put a gat in there or something like that. That's incitement. But now, have you heard this crazy factoid about the number 8,647?
What is it?
Oh,
which factoid?
Well, the factoid is that the day James Comey happened to post this image, that most of us interpreted a space in between the 86 and the 47, to which we said, those are two different numbers, 86 and 47. However, the day that he posted it just so happened to have a coincidence, Dan.
Oh, was it
8,647 days after 9/11. That's a wild coinky dink.
Again, yeah, just weird coincidences with these things.
I find it very difficult to believe that's a coincidence.
Remember the other one with
who was James Comey, bro? He was the head of the FBI during 9/11? Or he was like on the committee? He was involved in the 9/11 thing.
Remember the post Tom Hanks made?
Which one?
After that person went missing. I can't remember the exact details, but he made a post. And a lot of people think that it had a lot of symbolism in it. Those we can't are people just you can't say people are just totally blind to the symbolism on what they're posting. You can't get just totally lucky on these things, posting things up that symbolize other stuff. Oh, I had no idea. I mean, like, there's plausible deniability, but man, a whole lot of ignorance too if you just are somehow able to post that not knowing what it symbolizes. And that is the hardest thing to get over and figure out. If they really knew or not. Were they trying for the symbolism? Just a coinky dink. Hey, look, I was walking across the beach and like I just noticed somebody put these seashells here in a interesting little pattern, so I snapped a picture.
And then the lie of he claims that he had no clue what 86 meant, which, by the way, anecdote, my stepfather apparently had no idea what the hell 86 meant. And I was like, damn, bro, you was living under a rock.
Okay, so
But he was like the head of the FBI, dog. You should know that if he was in policing.
But like, why I keep bringing up that plausible deniability, a lot of people are talking about with the interview Biden had, where I forget his name, some mental
Special counsel.
some like doc for mental acuity gave Biden that like
The one
little
that leaked,
test.
you mean?
Huh? What?
The one that leaked? We got the audio tape from it this week.
I don't think that this guy was in front, like went back to Congress. His job was to test
Yes.
Biden.
This is the special counsel man, and we just had the audio leaked this week, so we can pull that up too. It's pathetic.
And he was asking him questions that people were saying, "Oh, that was years ago. He's old. Of course, he doesn't remember." Well, if you know how it works in the courtroom and with law, you know what people are saying about that. What would your attorney tell you if you weren't super duper sure on the question? You just deny, like, "Oh yeah, I didn't know about that," and that's definitely what it. Obviously, Comey knows the law, so when he's asked about something like that, all he has to do to keep himself out of jail and still did the incitement is just say, "Oh, yeah, I didn't know what those numbers meant."
How the law works, man.
Because
it
how does somebody
sometimes.
prove that you should have? I mean,
Right.
That's the tricky thing about the law.
Right. That's why a lot of people lose cases. Bro, we've got Trolley's 2 favorite internet personalities in one clip. He said, "Hey, let's watch more Jesse Waters." Well, Trolley, what would be better than Jesse Waters? Jesse Waters and Tim Pool.
So now is it clear why? They never gave him bad news. So now is it clear why they withheld this audio?
Yes, I think it was clear to us the whole time. I think it's fascinating that the narrative they're trying to run now is we missed the story. We just were completely unaware this thing had been happening. You know what I'm thinking the whole time we're playing these clips is there are a lot of liberal news institutions, powerful newspapers that like to refer to someone like me as conservative simply for noticing that the sitting president was infirm. He was incapable of doing his job. When they released the transcript, immediately, anybody who's rational says, let's hear the tape. I mean, you're saying we're not going to prosecute this guy while claiming Donald Trump did the same thing but should be prosecuted. We want to hear what happened and why. And they withhold it. Now they have the nerve to come out and claim, is it the White House Correspondents' Dinner or whatever? Oh, whoopsie. We just missed this one the whole time. I don't understand how regular people sitting at home saw this happen, and these journalists claim they had no idea what was going on.
So the tape is so much worse than the transcript. And the transcript was bad because the transcript, he doesn't know when Trump was sworn in. He doesn't know when he was elected. And he was about 2, maybe 3 years off for when his son died. Now, I feel bad for him. Robert Hur, in a way, was right.
Bruh, this fool in the tape goes, yeah, okay, you're asking about the time when my son died, right? Like 2017, 2018. Yeah, 2017, but your son died in 2015. Oh, okay, 2015, okay. So anyway, when my son died in 2017, yeah, like, hello? Like, hello, old man. And like, bruh, now seeing all this bullshit, and then he comes out with the prostate cancer bullshit, dog. Like, I feel like, man, and then all the people going around, all the doctors and everything, they all say like fast moving prostate cancer, like doesn't just metastasize to the bone in like, record times, right? It's like 5, 10 plus years, right? Even fast moving, holy shit, advanced like prostate cancer, right?
I mean, I don't know. Did he get a booster? He might have turbo cancer.
So now some of us tinfoil hatters are speculating maybe it's, jab induced, right? So like it could be less than
he didn't have to get a jab. It could have got transferred, as we know.
What is
it called?
Shedding.
Shedding.
So let's say it's not the jab, right? This dude had prostate cancer for longer than 4 years, right? Because they say at minimum it would have to probably be 5. Let's say this guy's got the first time ever in human history that prostate cancer is metastasized to a bone in less than 5 years. So that'd be 2.5 years, right? So 2.5 years magic, 5 crazy normal. Okay. So 5 would put it, he had prostate cancer before the campaign. So these mother effers knew this dude had cancer and was going to die, and then ran him with a plan of him croaking and Kamala going into office, bro.
I maybe they were the plan wasn't that he was gonna die. Maybe they're hoping great health care was gonna get him on through it.
Oh yeah, they were just gonna get Biden over to the med beds and save his life, and everything was gonna be cherries and rainbows, dog. I don't know, bro. I think they knew this guy was gonna die, and then they were gonna put him in office, and that's how they were gonna slip the DEI Kamala, who's like a effing communist, putting everybody in jail for smoking weed and doing whatever the hell you want because she'll get on her knees for it if you really need her to. But now she just needs the clout. She just want to say she's president. They was gonna run this old man till he croaked and just slide her in as president, dog. And I swear to goodness that was the plan. Let's say it wasn't the plan. How did nobody know he had prostate cancer, dog? Because some doctor would have leaked this shit. So the other theory that a buddy of mine said was, oh, maybe they just were skipping that one so that there could be no accidental leak. So they knew, but then, they didn't let no doctor in the last 5 years check him up the prostate or something like that,
Well, I mean, not something that they'd want out public, especially when they knew we were just saying he was incompetent and all this and that possible theory.
So then, if he got prostate cancer, that's why he got the marks of IVs on his hands that, everybody be like micro checking out and snapping photos of and shit, right? Then I also think that would explain the whole he went crazy off the rails in the last year or two. So he was like pretty stupid already and getting old. But then in the last year or two, this dude just fell off the cliff. It was probably chemo induced, bro. This dude was old as balls. He's getting dementia. They hit him with the chemo, and that brain folded.
Got all that money. They're still giving him the chemo poison treatment.
I mean, they're normal.
That's what don't make sense.
And they believe in the jab, so I just assume they do traditional medicine and chemo the shit out of them.
Or that's what they sold to him. Like they
Right.
They didn't let him know.
We ain't got the good stuff, Joe.
Yeah.
You just gonna take some of this booty chemo right here,
I
cause
mean, if his brain's already that far gone, it's like, yeah, this is the best we got to try to keep. Okay, sounds good.
they were like, "Yo, dog, we already got that Epstein whistleblower scheduled."
It's
So
not like he was on TikTok running through all the holistic ways to heal cancer. He wasn't knowledgeable. He just listened to his advisors, and he was half demented.
yeah, I don't think Biden got Ian Carroll on the hot dial.
Yeah, exactly. So he just listened to whoever told him what. And he was like, okay, sounds good. And he just they continued to possibly poison him. Wow. When we suspected it was adrenochrome, it was chemo. And it's done its damage. By the looks of it.
So I hope you liked Jesse Waters and Tim Pool all in one clip, Trolley. That was for you, buddy.
Yeah. I hope your rocks are off.
Mr. Niltamir says
Still going
Biden
to work on them rocks.
Mr. Niltamir in the live chat here says that he theorizes that Biden may have got prostate cancer from doing butt stuff, which is possible.
Quite possibly.
But a lot of straight dudes get it too,
I mean, maybe Biden's name was on that telephone list next to Epstein's bed.
Who ran the campaign, Neil? He said your mic's going in and out.
Yeah, it's kind of been doing that, like, apparently the whole time.
Yeah, you be real tired today, bro. You work too hard. You talking quieter. Ain't picking you up. I tried to turn it down. Let's see if... Yeah, but now we're doing the... Okay, no, it's not picking me up. It's picking me up.
Yeah, energy levels have been slowly draining through the episode. Today was an extra early day.
Dan's like, I sits. We're going to have to call him Joe Biden today. So this was the other big news piece here. I wanted to know what Niltamir thought. Also, what Wilkinson thought here. What does everybody think? Drop it in the live chat down below. Comment if you're watching in the replay. But what do you think about our superheroes, Mr. Kash Patel and Mr. Dan Bonajingo? These guys went hard on Epstein just killed himself. So them's the breaks. That's it. I think this one might be a different clip. Yeah, this one was announcing that they're moving the FBI. Okay.
We inspire folks in
So not the Epstein one, but that's the one I want to know. Everybody drop in the live chat down below. What do you think? Are our heroes telling us the truth? Are they lying to us because they're stupid? Or are they lying to us because they know they can't tell us, or they were told they can't tell us?
Or
There's too many alternatives.
they're just saying what the evidence so far can prove, so they don't get caught up legally in defamation. Because as like I said, you can't really prove, there's no camera footage. There's it smells totally like a setup, and he got he got that special suicide treatment that was suicide but not by his hand. But you, in a court of law, and 100%, undoubtedly prove that happened. I don't think they even got the evidence for it.
So
possibly. So they might be telling us exactly what they have so far, and what it can be proved in a court of law is that he did not kill himself, from what the evidence that they have and what they can say beyond a reasonable doubt.
That's so true. But that's what we don't like, because literally a year ago, Dan Bonajingo is on a show going, guys, don't believe the story they're telling you, folks. There's way more to this, man. There's way more stuff. And then listen to how he says this shit, bro.
You said Jeffrey Epstein committed suicide. People don't believe it.
Well, I mean, listen, they have a right to their opinion, but as someone who has worked as a public defender, as a prosecutor, who's been in that prison system, who's been in the Metropolitan Detention Center, who's been in segregated housing, you know a suicide when you see one, and that's what that was.
He killed himself. You want me to? I've seen the whole file. He killed himself.
I know it's hard work. You said,
I've seen the file. What does that mean, Dan? Mr. Bongino, you're telling me we can't trust the FBI, and then you're going to tell me, yeah, nah, I read the file from the FBI. Yep, story's true. Come on, man. Come on.
I mean, not all what sure looks like is one way, sometimes is that way. Like I was saying before, does it change that much? Maybe only a little bit, because at the end of the day, it still doesn't change the fact that if he got arranged to be suicided, or if he actually suicided himself, that only means one thing, and that there's somebody bigger in the picture at play still. Because they either formulated something so good, had so much pull, so much cover to be able to, make him suicide himself, or Epstein, who had buku amounts of money and pull, all the right people that he knew. He could have had a life after and whatnot after he got out of there, but if he really suicided himself, that only means you only do suicide when you're in something like that, because you're gonna
rock bottom.
You're gonna get hit by something else later on. It's either you go out on your own will, or you go out off their will, and so that just means either what he was all doing was that proves that's absolutely real, can't be fake, because he did it out of shame, or he did it out of fear if he actually did it to himself.
Oh, I mean, it's as easy as he actually did fall in love with Ghislaine, even though she was the one handling him. And they said, hey, we won't kill Ghislaine if you just take care of yourself. And he was sold on it enough. Done.
Which then would mean what? There's somebody bigger at play.
Yeah,
it's got him by the balls.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
People think he was the top of the cake. No.
Yeah, I don't think so at all.
No, absolutely not. There's
she chose
way
him, bro.
more bigger players at play.
There's straight up the whole story evidence, bro. He was a nothing guy, like doing trade money thing or something, and then she came and picked him.
Yeah.
She said, I was going to use this
So,
dude.
I mean, hey, that really shows how much power they got. If they knew everything about him, which he had dirt on so many different people, and he could have snitched, but they had so much dirt and leverage on him that they were able to get him if he actually yanked himself. That just shows how much power the next person in line has.
Oh, 100%. And then also, I would like to point out that Ghislaine Maxwell was running things way before the boss bitch movement. Even though that's bad.
Yep. And know what I noticed really quick here about this clip? That little green
But the FBI is
box
38,000.
down in the lower right. Oh, it's higher than last week yet again. Oh, the
Stocks
stock
go up.
markets are crazy. They're crashing. He's ruining all your portfolios. Wow, look at that. It is still climbing.
This one I thought was an interesting one because it's one of those when people say outrageous things running for a position or like talking shit if they got into position. And it's not exactly what you envisioned when they were saying it more grandiose, but it is true. Because remember when he said, if I get in as FBI director, I would shut down the FBI and turn it into a museum? You thought he was going to disband the entire FBI and completely shut down the organization entirely. Well, actually, what he's going to do is a little bit different.
Man, which we're not. In the National Capital Region, in the 50-mile radius around Washington, D.C., there were 11,000 FBI employees. That's like a third of the workforce. A third of the crime doesn't happen here. So we're taking 1,500 of those folks and moving them out. Every state's getting a plus up. And I think when we do things like that, we inspire folks in America to become intel analysts and agents and say, we want to go work at the FBI because we want to go fight violent crime and we want to get sent out into the country to do it. And that's what we're doing in the next 3, 6, 9 months. We're going to do that hard. And, you know, I didn't know that I was going to do this, but I'm going to announce it on your show anyway. This FBI is leaving the Hoover building because this building is unsafe for our workforce, and we want the workforce.
He just gave up a big nugget.
We
there.
want the American men and women
Pause
to know
it.
if you're going to come.
You know what? Did you catch the nugget that he dropped?
Uh-huh.
He said the next 3, 6, 9 months.
Oh.
3, 6, 9 mafia.
Work at the premier law enforcement agency in the world. We're going to give you a building that's commensurate with that, and that's not this place. Look, the FBI.
So he's saying that the building's run down and crap, and then something jobs, something spread out the feds to try and lessen crime. I hate cops, dog. I was like not into the cops kind of kid, but I grew up and I do a lot less illegal activity. I do zero illegal activity. So hey, bring the feds in, dog. Like let's safeten up the states, man.
I mean, the feds are worried about the
violent crime,
like fentanyl and all that bad stuff, and we do need Americans to stop ODing from all the fentanyl they get from certain sources, which is apparently mostly across it. A lot of people said it's Mexico border. It is the northern border.
I theorize
Canada is in bed with China, and they let them manufacture the fentanyl, and they bring it right across the northern border.
I think my punch in the face rule could apply to stopping heroin and fentanyl addiction. I think we should make it a new TikTok trend to go and beat the shit out of anybody you see doing drugs on the street. I bet you it 1 cleans the street up and 2 gets a few to just quit.
I mean, that might be inciting a little bit of violent rhetoric. I would suggest we just do a quick swap. Right when they think they're getting hooked on fentanyl, you hook them on phonics.
I agree. We could bring back Hooked on Phonics. That's a great idea. Now we just got to figure out how to crystallize phonics.
Yep. If you can crystallize phonics, come on, whatever I always forget the main guy's name from Breaking Bad. Come on, whip that shit up. Find a recipe to crystallize.
Walter White.
Yeah, Walter White. Whip up that Hooked on Phonics crystal. Get these people hooked on smartness and goodness. We'll bring America all the way around. We gonna be the most.
And we'll get the Reading Rainbow guy to be the head, dog.
Ooh, dude.
Bang, bang.
Absolute fire.
Yeah. Honorable mention. We mentioned, I don't know if we mentioned this last week. I was talking about this with the wifey. But I heard about this epic city where they got a whole like trailer and like money and plans to build a Muslim focused and probably Muslim only city down in Texas, where like all of the money was going to go to supporting the mosque, and it was going to be run with Sharia law, and like it was going to be like a whole like, hey, this is what we should do to the rest of America. Yeah, apparently that all got shut down and paused when the news got out the bag to the public. I don't know why they didn't do it sooner, but Governor Abbott
interesting. So
put a stop to it, I believe.
So the Muslims got shut down. Yet, have you heard? Allegedly, it's in there's a couple counties or something like that, or maybe it's just one in Texas where a big amount of their yearly budget of their taxes goes to Israel.
Interesting.
And somebody brought it up, and they're like, "No, we can't opt out of it, and we have to send it to Israel."
What?
And I don't know if the citizens knew or not. I can't remember that bit, but yeah, it's like
something made a deal.
Like, dude, it was a good chunk of their revenue. It might have been. I remember I don't want to think it was as much as 40, but it might have been 40%.
Interesting.
Yeah. And
Yeah, you got to find that and post it to the locals.
Yeah, that would have been a good idea, wouldn't it have been?
Hey, also, if Dieter's watching, you flaked off and didn't post anything to the locals community, bro. Like, come on now. You posted like one that we got pulled up. Thank you for that post, but
Dieter,
let me see you hit it with some more, brother.
Dieter, we need the deets.
Need the Dieter dates. That's a good nickname. I'm gonna call him Dieter Deets from now.
Dieter Deet.
From now on.
Hope you like it, buddy. Sorry if you don't.
You
got it now.
That's probably good. Oh, bro. Okay, this is one of those where like, I'm sorry, everyone. Maybe if you're not into this is one of those like, skip ahead. Or if you're watching live, just like do something else for a little bit. You don't gotta click away. Don't click away. But I just love watching libtards get roasted, bro. And also, I love watching Tim get worked up like a son of a bitch. So this one's awesome.
Dude, another one went on the Tim cast just to get... Oh, they must be having a comment like, oh, that person totally didn't have the point. Like, I can outdo them in this. And then they go on. And then they come to realization that they're living in a hypnotized fairyland, one by one. You know, let's keep it going. I'm liking
this guy was
this
painful.
Challenge that they're trying to pull with themselves.
This guy was painful because he's here to talk about all this stuff, bro, and they're going back and forth. And then when he gets walled in, he's like, "Oh, I'm just a comedian, bro. I'm not in your bubble. I didn't know. I'm not in your bubble."
Yeah, that's
bro,
always how it
listen
goes.
to this one, bro. This is fantastic. So,
dude, I got all worked up, but I'm actually like not even serious about this at all. It was all an act. Like you thought you had me going. Like I really had you thinking that you had me going. Like it was all just an act, bro. I'm actually 10 out of 10 actor. Went to acting school. I had you fooled, didn't I?
So we don't got to bring names into this. But there was this person that Dan knew, like a friend, that he brought over. And this person was like, AOC's hot diggity dang the business. And I was like, AOC, you mean the chick that's like totally on communism and totally stupid and doesn't know nothing about nothing? And she was like, I'm not really into politics. So, I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That's always people's defense, bro.
Yeah, I do remember that one.
I'm gonna say some shit like I know some shit. So you don't know no shit and you're an idiot. I'm not an idiot. I don't actually look into any of that shit. I don't know.
I forgot to let you know before we came in this room. If you don't want to get down with talking about politics or don't bring it up, the dog is off the leash at all times. He might nip a little hard. Sorry about that.
Dog do bite. This one right here, folks, is about the very fine people hoax. People tell me that they got it all wrong, folks. They misclipped my words. I had no idea. I said the words. I thought they were good, but people also tell me you can now look this up at Snopes. So Snopes actually has something truthful for maybe the first time, second time. But man, this is a great clip to send somebody that you've argued with. If you're still friends enough to be in their DMs, send this clip to them friend, family, or a troll. If you got a troll that you know that's in your family and still believes the Very Fine People hoax, please send them this clip. This is banger.
Yeah, Troll and Jill must be taking a break off the cast.
Oh, Donald Trump dumped food into a fish pond after Shinzo Abe did. Why are you trying to make that a negative
I don't even
story?
know what that
it was
we're
like
talking about there.
it's all of these hoaxes. The Very Fine People hoax.
I mean, I remember the line. Yeah,
Trump never called Nazis fine people.
He said there were very fine people on both sides,
except the neo-Nazis and white nationalists who should be condemned totally.
He said that.
Holy shit. Brother, it is.
I don't live in your bubble, man. I don't.
You don't live in the fucking news, dude. Come the fuck on. You don't read the fucking news. This is what fucking blows my mind.
No, I just don't have your. I don't have your.
No,
obsessions.
Trump did not call neo-Nazis and white supremacists very fine people.
This is also a great example of what not to do if you're in a debate with a person that's not on a TV show.
Oh my God, you didn't watch the freaking news, you idiot.
But then he does apologize, and so give a sec.
People, bro, it's been almost 10 years, and you still think he did. That's what's fucked
I
up.
didn't say I think he did. I just don't know what you're talking about because I don't like. I don't listen to your.
The lies start. You 100% believed that before I just showed you this, sir.
Like, I was just saying, that's like what I've heard. Okay, so
why did you say that?
You're repeating it. Either you somewhat believe it. You might not believe it like you believe in Christ or something if you're one of them. But like, it doesn't. You obviously believed it more than less.
Let's put it this way, dog. If we put you in a room with a bunch of other libtard GDS patients before I showed you this, you would have been squawking for 30 minutes about the Very Fine People hoax and how much you believe it, so...
Would have been like all the birds in emo. Moin, 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 moin.
Your shit.
It's not about listening to my shit, bro. It's reading the news. It's fact-checking. Bro, I got Snopes for you. They're not a conservative publication. Even Snopes was like, guys, stop saying this.
I don't know why you're shouting at me. I was just asking you to explain.
Because the issue we have, and I apologize, because I'm not trying to shout at you, I'm shouting in exasperation, that we've had two liberals on in the past 2 weeks who didn't know this. And I'm just like, for the love of all is holy, all I do all day is I read probably 500 news articles every single day.
You're a little
from
hardcore,
CNN,
bro.
the New York Times, MSNBC, and all their aggregates. And then liberals come on and they believe things that were debunked 8 years ago.
I didn't say I believed it. I was just asking what you were talking about.
You didn't know this.
Yeah, I don't know everything that you know.
But this is what Biden launched his campaign on. Biden made a public announcement to launch his presidency in 2020 off of this lie. And you didn't know that. 5 years later.
I don't know why you're getting on me about this, but
it's again, I apologize. I'm not trying to get on you. It's the exasperation largely with liberals.
100%. This is what we all feel like in our head, bro.
You know, the only reason he's like still chillaxing and like laughing about it is because he thinks this is like the only one that's been debunked, probably.
Oh, he's embarrassed, I think. But
I mean,
sure,
a little bit of
that
that.
too, yeah.
He's just like, okay, yeah, how about this one? And then Tim would be like, let's roll the tape. You know, here's another debunk. And he'd be like, okay, well, what about this? And another debunk. Oh, well, what about this? And another one. And another one. Cue DJ Khaled. Time and time after again. They're
Right.
just, they're all narratives and all smear campaigns. Every single time. I forgot who it was that I seen the other day. They're actually like Republican, and they were like, you know, I don't know why people get, you know, like he at least like says what he it might have been the Billy guy, the friend of Andy Frisella that he had on a podcast. He was
One of the
talking.
guests.
Yeah. He was talking. I think it might have been him saying how like he likes Trump. Like he is very, you know, cautious for Trump. He wouldn't say he's like a big fan of him, but what he likes about Trump is that he just says it how it is, and like he's not afraid to like say real shit. He's like, you know, like, yeah, sometimes you gotta grab him by the pussy, you know, like that's just like, oh yeah, there it is. You know, that's probably why you only somewhat, you know, like what he says, because you don't realize that was taken out of context.
Yeah.
Just like the fine people, like Everything taken out of context, edited, smeared.
I should have just said they'll even let you kiss them. I didn't know that one was going to be recorded, folks. That's crazy. Just talking shit with my bros in a bus on the way to another hot chick where if you listen to the rest of the recording, you would have heard me how I called myself a bitch because I swung out with her one time. I tried to take a swing and I striked out.
Yep.
But I got off the bus. I took another swing. It was fun.
And it's you know, if the shoe was on the other foot, on the other gender, you know, it wouldn't even be a big deal.
Yeah.
Oh, come on, let's say grab him by the dick. Yeah, whatever, grab him by the
She's
balls.
a strong woman. Isn't that hilarious? Yeah.
That's fine. Sometimes you gotta grab that, you know, bull by the.
That's
by
all
the
men
schlong.
are good for anyway.
Okay, yeah.
And then they were like, I would have grabbed Michael by the. Wait a second. Oh, shoot. Good old Michael Obama. This is a needs awareness alert, folks. Have you heard of the Biden admin covering up a 1,100,000? What do you say? 1,100%? 1,100% increase in neurological events in the military? Up to a year of after like the COVID mRNA rollout?
And what would be a neurological event?
It's Army Special Operations. I was also a flight surgeon with the United States Army Green Berets. When I lost the ability to go to my command, I went to a congressman. I went to 2 congressmen. I went to 3. Nobody wanted to talk about it until finally Senator Johnson came forward and said, I'm looking for whistleblowers. And I had been talking to Dr. Teresa Long, a lieutenant colonel, flight surgeon out of Fort Rucker, Alabama, and she said, look at the DMED data. Defense Medical Epidemiology Database. Look at that data. I pulled up the DMED data and went, whoa, neurologic events up 1,100% since the shots rolled out. 11x rise.
I got contacted by attorney Tom Renz over the weekend. He showed me the data that is being extracted from, what is the name of this database?
DMED. It's the Defense Medical Database.
They have noticed a very alarming increase in instances of certain conditions compared to a 5-year average.
Senator Johnson, to the camera, he says,
the Department of Defense, the Biden administration is on notice. They must preserve these records, and this must be investigated.
less than 24 hours, the system went down. We couldn't get on. We couldn't find anything. We couldn't do anything. About 48 hours later, it came back up.
The database was frozen by the DoD. And then the next week, all of a sudden, all the previous 5 years' number came up.
What they did was they took this data that went up 1,100%, and they just brought all this data up like this, to match. So it looked like there was no real change.
They thought they pulled one over on us. They didn't. They didn't, because then we went back and looked at data from 2001 to 2015 and showed where they shifted the data and cheated.
You have to understand that once you have the most accurate data system in the world glitched, it's no longer useful to us.
Man, all right. You know what? Pen and paper for everything. We gotta ditch the chips and the digital databases. The only thing you can do.
Wow.
Like, it just, man, all these people can always try to
bonkers?
cover their tracks, do a little edit.
So like, yeah, we're just going to fudge the numbers. Oh shit, we didn't fudge all of the numbers. Damn it, John.
Dude, I bet somebody in
That's
Doge's
insanity.
team could look at the code of
Right.
the program and just see the editing, when it happened, when it was, what was changed, when it was changed.
Right. And then like, how do you steal man
and
the
that
argument?
will show. Oh yeah, no, sorry, we've been super busy. We forgot to implement all these records for the last 5 years because we've just been like really busy. But we totally got the records in on this 1 year. Just fine. Oh yeah. The most recent year, we got them all in, but we forgot, and we just haven't had the time to update the last 5, So that's just how it goes sometimes. And then finally, since they said...
That's literally what they say about like the medical reports and stuff. That's like literally what they did during COVID. Like, did you remember that? Or you were just like guessing what bullshit they would spin.
I was.
'Cause that's 100% what they do.
Legit trying to cover my trying to make some bullshit up.
Yeah.
Cover my ass, hoping that they would just believe the bullshit, because it's like I was saying it like in a way trying to make it sound like, well, like anybody with, a brain between their two ears realizes like that doesn't make any sense. That there's a whole bunch of phoniness to that. Probably bullshit.
Right?
But yeah, I mean, because like literally what else can they say? And then they just hope somebody's either going to believe it, move on, or go, no, we're going to investigate even further. I don't believe you. Only two choices. And hopefully it actually gets investigated by the proper people.
Yeah, I hope to goodness, man.
Because guess what could happen? They could hire somebody to investigate it, not knowing it's the same person that just went back and fudged all the numbers.
Yeah.
And then they're like, oh, yeah, no, nothing here, man. Trust. It's a hard thing. It's a hard thing to come by.
We sure are finding the last couple weeks a lot of effing around. And we're really hoping that these people find out.
Yeah.
Like, there needs to be accountability,
there
dude.
needs to
for
be
sure.
a lot of finding out happening.
Yeah. So, yeah, neurological events, man, like, I don't know, man. That could be a whole bunch of shit, right? Total number of diseases of the nervous system by year went from 80,000 to 863,000. That's crazy sauce. That's 10x? Yeah, that's bonkers, dude.
Man,
absolutely bonkers.
It's almost like the mRNA could be total hormone and frequency disruptors, where your body can't communicate its signals, and all of a sudden neurological problems just skyrocket.
Yeah, right, dude. It's almost like it's not good for you.
The saddest part is it's almost still again hard to claim that back against a certain substance or something that happened,
100%, dog.
to where you could sue and be like, oh no, like, hey, it's the new Black Plague. If the Black Plague was made up, yeah, like, we don't know what happened. Like, we had this solar flare and like it just whacked out everybody's like neurological systems, and people started falling off like flies, and we call it the Great Flare, and we lost so many people. But luckily, we came out with this great vaccine later on, and it totally cured the problem. And now society's fine, and everybody's just basically a robot that's like, yes, master, we'll do that, master.
I mean, that's our speculative, what their plan is idea, right? Like, wild. Yeah, absolutely wild. This is the second update of the week from Mr. James O'Keefe. If you're into the, Epstein story and whatnot, this was him showing the, what was this, like the kitchen and the bedroom or something that I was mentioning, right?
Kitchen and the library, but in Epstein's bedroom, we've made our most dramatic discovery yet. Landline telephones that show pre-programmed speed dial buttons labeled with names. You see the phones on the side of the bedroom tables here. We're going to take a look at these phones and the names on them. But first, the room itself, sparsely furnished. On the desk, you see what's known as a phrenology skull. Phrenology is a debunked pseudoscience linking skull shape to personality traits. On one bedside table, you see a notepad that says Little St. James, that's the name of the island, printed at the bottom of each page, and a set of reading glasses of similar type worn by Epstein in deposition footage. The most striking detail, we see a Panasonic console phone on each bedside table. The multiple lines are labeled.
New York office, okay, business always first.
Karina.
Darren's office, Darren's cell. And he's really got to get a hold of Darren.
I was just glad someone didn't misprint it and put off before Darren's name, because that could be a slip up.
Yeah.
Rich, Mike, Anna, Patrick, Steph, STC office, Larry Cell.
Hey, Larry, you're on there?
Larry Fink?
Oh.
I don't know, man. But I want to know who these people are that were so important to Mr. Epstein that they made the speed dial.
One's definitely got to be a pie guy.
See, as an IT guy, if I was investigating this, I would find the IT guys that did things like set up the security cameras and program these phones, because those dudes are not in it enough to not squeal.
Right, yeah.
You hook them up with a good package, immunity, maybe a little bit of money, off the American printing press, and you're gonna get these dudes to squeal on this whole organization.
Yeah, squeal nice and loud. And
I'm just a nerd, bruh. Shit, man. He paid us a lot of money, and then he gave me free boobs. I was like, bet, I'll set up the phone.
Heck yeah,
dude. Paid me $15,000 to set up the speed dial. I was
I have a hard
amen.
time saying no, too. And yes, Nil Tamir, that might, we've been infiltrated.
Oh, no, we've been infiltrated.
That could be our Larry. Yeah, definitely not. And, I was stretching in the thumbnail. You like that thumbnail? Yeah, I thought you might find that entertaining.
Well, thanks for hanging out with us, Nil Tamir. Better put your old butt to bed. Good night, good sir. Thanks for coming.
Getting that reading in.
Yeah, get that reading in. Don't fall asleep during the reading like Dan does.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we did find out, if you're in, what is it, theta or alpha wave? Well, which one was it?
Theta.
Yeah, if you are in theta wave, it might actually stick pretty good.
The trick is, can you read while you're sleeping in theta wave?
Well, the trick is you can't fall asleep all the way, which is a slight bit risky because you got to do it on like a higher height bar stool and then not fall over all the way onto the ground. Sometimes you drop your book and the bookmark comes out and then you got to remember what page you're on.
And you also got to make sure that you tie the rope to hold you up properly, because you don't want to have an Epstein slip up. That was really what he was trying to do, was just keep his ass awake.
Yeah.
Reading his book.
He was really just theta wave reading.
And then he tied the rope wrong.
We saw, hey, there it is. If you're listening, this is why you come to the Truthercast. You heard it first. Actually what happened to Epstein, he was theta wave reading, and he tried getting a little crafty and didn't want to like fall over on the floor, fully off the bar stool like I do, and he accidentally made the rope a little too high, and he maybe he pissed himself a little bit. The floor was slippery, he couldn't quite get up, and that was
Dan said, I figured it out, man. I know how to not make myself fall asleep. I'm going to sit on a stool where it's dangerous to fall over, and then I just bump my head. So, gosh darn, I sat back in the couch and just...
Most of the times I catch myself halfway down. I don't get all
Don't get sleep or anything. Jiminy Crickets. So, did you know that lab leak theories have been around for a long time? Very often, the older you get, the more you find out. That ain't nothing new under the sun, man, because back here, we're going to jump back to 1986. 1986, back when Joan Rivers had a talk show. We got Frank Zappa on this joint, bro. You ready for this one?
Wait, is Joan Rivers also the one? That's who I'm thinking of, right?
Michelle Obama's a tranny, bro. Everybody knows this. Not a big deal.
Man, look at that. Nothing. What wasn't new knowledge for her? Nothing.
She was a shit talker.
She's been in the game for a long time.
What are the big topics now? AIDS, I would imagine, comes up.
Well, yeah, I tell them what I think about AIDS.
What do you think about AIDS?
Remember the fairy tale they told you about the green monkeys? They tell you about these green monkeys, and then they remind you that this is a sexually transmitted disease. I have one big question.
Who's pluking the monkeys? So once you get past the, that seems like kind of an implausible theory if you look at it that way. So I offer 3 other possible scenarios. 1, because remember, it is announced suddenly one day in November, 700 people died from a disease we never heard about before. One possibility, it came from outer space. Another one, it came from a government laboratory. Not saying whose, could have escaped, could have been done on purpose as a test on civilians. The other possibility is it came from a private sector laboratory for money. Because when they find the pill that you can take to let you do it again, somebody's going to make some money. There's no question about that.
It's fascinating.
Frank Zappa, the OG conspiracy theorist, who was always painted in the news media as a crazy drug nut job. Both things could be true. I've never been a conspiracy theorist and a crazy drug nut job ever in my life, so I wouldn't know.
Me neither.
But I do know a lot of people who were.
Yep.
I thought that was an interesting throwback, man. Because it's all the same hallmarks of what we got going on right now, bro. And then everybody was like, you're crazy. Bruh, it was back in 1986, people were already like, bruh, this crazy thing came out. I bet you it's from a laboratory.
Man, I bet if we were sitting at the tables of the founding fathers, they had conspiracies back then about shit.
Mm-hmm.
I bet they did the same thing, which is why they came over here to do what they did.
Mm-hmm. Very, very likely, I think. But this is also why we should all be historians, bro, because then maybe they won't be able to pull the effing wool over our eyes again,
Or
bro.
just
Like
aware and research to figure things out.
Like making sure you show up next Monday for the next Truth or Cast.
Hitting that notification bell so you don't miss it. You get notified when posts are made on the locals. You can get awareness before even getting the entertainment to go with it on Monday nights.
Or if you're going to sleep early, you could pull the show back up tomorrow, throw it on in the background while you're cleaning the dishes, and finish off the rest of the Truth or Cast to get your weekly fill.
Hey, might as well even let it play into the background after you fall asleep. Let it burn into your subconscious.
Let it fade away, bruh.
Yeah. Yeah, as we know, you can do a lot in your sleep.
So
some people even have figured out how to walk in their sleep.
do you remember? I've eaten in my sleep. Yeah, go right to the fridge, bro. Start pounding food.
Asleep.
It's a good skill. Did you know
Maybe that's where the weight comes from.
that Hillary Clinton agrees with us conspiracy theorists? They tried to tell us we were all crazy when we said the criminal aliens were coming in here to add to the vote count and to replace our population collapse problem, right? They call this crazy. But now we got Miss Clinton over here literally just saying it.
Posted the other day this very blatant effort to basically send a message, most exemplified by Vance and Musk and others, that, what we really need from you women are more children. And what that really means is you should go back to doing what you were born to do, which is to produce more children. And they're talking about, cash.
Uh-huh.
Hey, how many kids does she have?
I think they got like 2.
Should have made more, Hillary. Wait,
Benefits
never mind. I retract that statement. That bloodline does not need to follow through.
Yeah, we don't want to continue that because Chelsea Clinton was on the J6 committee.
Yep.
They are talking about, cash benefits for the more children you have. This has been tried, by the way, in other countries, and it has not worked.
It's because they did it wrong, Hillary. You don't know shit about other countries. Those shithole countries tried it, but this country will try it and do it the right way. We will do way better than everybody else. We'll have the best child, pro-child, birth child tax credits and deals, discounts, and bonuses you've ever seen before.
You said she doesn't know about other countries. What do you mean? She knows a lot about Benghazi.
She knows how to destroy countries, Dan. She doesn't know how to incentivize making the babies, you know.
First things first, y'all girls, if you want to have babies and you're having a problem and you wear yoga pants, see what happens after you ditch the yoga pants.
Yoga pants not good, kind of like briefs were not good for your nutsack.
They did an actual study on it.
Get out.
Dude, just remember how I think
popularizing yoga pants was an anti-population plan.
It was a feminist thing. And
probably given to them.
And it was part of
by the Illuminati.
Yeah. What it comes down to is I'm pretty sure Wilkinson has made a comment about it before. I don't know if it was directly with the cotton or the clothes. But
the microplastics.
Well, it's a frequency thing too.
Whoa!
But yeah, they did. They literally did
man.
a study. They had a control group, girls in polyester pants. Well, actually, it was with dogs that they did it, and I forget the doctor's name, but he's kind of popular in the like more truth holistic doctor stuff, and it's dogs wearing polyester pants.
Interesting.
And they found out that it was
seriously, John.
It was like 80% or something of the dogs with polyester pants were non-fertile, and the dogs that wore cotton pants were totally fine.
I've heard that hemp is the best frequency of clothes.
Hemp and cotton are your best bets.
Yeah.
Yep.
I heard about that one.
Yeah, so my one buddy, he used to always say, "I just love the feeling of a brand new white tee." I don't know if he's specific. I almost feel like he said like a brand new like cotton white tee.
Hell yeah, brother.
It was on to something.
Fresh clothes is what's
it
up.
felt good, and like in more ways than probably what he knew. He knew it felt good, but didn't know probably it was literally because it is meant for our bodies, our cells, and whatnot.
Yeah.
You know,
it's not synthetic, man. It's basically,
you know, hey, if anything, we were doing some certain people a favor back in the day, if you really think about it.
Oh, Lord Almighty.
Or metals if you have
They're
6
jokes,
children,
folks,
while they're
they're jokes.
contemplating cutting Medicaid, while they have no interest in paid family leave or funding quality child care. They're cutting Head Start. I mean, you.
Wait.
I mean,
now I got to go back to that. I think I just unraveled something. We know. I mean, there's certain people that are very, very reproductive, and then there's another people that are quite productive. Maybe it was set into their DNA through a few years of 100% cotton, eating it, breathing it, bleeding in it.
That did.
So it like permanently changed their genome to like, you're going to be fertile.
Oh, the good frequency.
Yeah, like you worked around that good frequency for so long, we are going to lock in your DNA set for
Yeah, and then the
fertility.
stupid white folks just got fat and lazy and stupid, man.
Yeah.
Because they was all trying not to do the work.
Well, they
the
wanted to wear the fancy fabrics, which
The
fancy
1% of
fabrics
them.
probably were even polyester back then and nylon. They probably started doing it.
I
wonder when they started
That's newer.
nylon and
Yeah, that's
polyester.
newer.
I mean, there was oil back then, and it is a oil and plastic product.
When was nylon clothes invented? 1935, bro.
Ooh, I
So
mean,
that's pretty new.
I mean,
Not even 100 years old yet.
I mean, yeah, but that is still farther back than I was thinking it might actually have been.
Dude, everything was invented in the early 1900s. Like everything. Everything we know was invented in the 1900s, bro. Crazy. Like early. Electricity, phones, newspaper. No, newspaper is 18.
Even more fruition to why we probably did skip over 1,000 years and artificially added into the timeline. Because at the
I'm
rate
really intrigued by
at the
that.
rate we advance,
I'm like really intrigued by that.
I'm at printing press.
A newspaper in the 1600s? Okay, bet. Yeah, that's way old.
Dude, they used to do it hand, like a single stamp at a time.
They said, would that be printing press? Yeah, anyway.
Yeah.
Side quest, not necessary. Where'd Hillary go?
You go down the list of all the programs that support child rearing and the care of children and create, some safety net for women who are in the workforce, the formal workforce, as well as, raising children. So this is another performance about concerns they allegedly have for family life. But if you had read the Heritage Foundation's Project 2025, despite Trump saying he knew nothing about it, if you had read it, it's all in there. It's all in there. Return to the family, the nuclear family, return to being a Christian nation, return to, producing a lot of children, which is sort of odd because the people who produce the most children in our country are immigrants and they want to deport them. So none of this adds up. But, one of the
It's because you don't math, lady.
reasons why our
It's actually because you and your friends with your big companies have been poisoning the American population.
Yeah, 100%.
The people that come over are so fertile because they haven't had the American poison. They stay here for long enough. All of a sudden, they're not as fertile, but it's all right because they got it out the way when they were. It don't matter after then. But then if their kids are still here and they stay here, all of a sudden they aren't fertile. That's why you want to import more because literally it's one and done. It's like a usable product.
economy
They're
did
like
so much
tampons.
better than comparable advanced economies across the world is because we actually had a replenishment, because we had a lot of immigrants, legally and undocumented, who had a, larger than normal, by American standards, family. So this is just another one of...
By new American standards, like American Family back in the day was like 5 kids easy.
I thought for sure she was about to say schlong.
their, Make America Great Again by returning to the lifestyles and the economic arrangements of not just the 1950s. I mean, let's keep going back as far as we can and, see what happens.
Just ridiculous, in my humble opinion.
Yep.
But she admits it, bro. Exactly what we were trying to say.
Yep, they want immigrants to come in and populate and keep them on the view and the voting base of what brought them in here.
Has anyone made this argument? I thought about this one earlier today. So when they're trying to say like, oh, we got to bring these illegal immigrants in because like who's going to do all the shit jobs, right? Like, or any jobs or whatever. Because they're like, oh, people can't afford to like pay these employees or something. Like, how can you talk out of both sides of your mouth? Like, oh, everybody here in the States needs to get paid more money, but then, oh, you got to like get these people to do shit jobs that don't get a lot of money. And then it's like, well,
and they say we're the racists.
And then also
I need somebody to clean my toilets for not a lot of money.
They always go.
I need them to do it cheap.
Trump's getting rid of these.
My toilet clean. Oh, so you can't clean your own shit, and then you don't want to pay them a respectable wage. It sounds like y'all are the bigots.
Right. And then they try to say like, oh, Trump's deporting all these people. Who's going to clean his toilets? Oh, and it's like, what? Like Americans that like get paid to clean toilets, dog. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So then the other thing I was thinking,
start somewhere. Not everybody has a high-paying job right off the bat.
If we wanted to be able to pay more people more money, what if you stop taxing the businesses on all the employment tax bullshit, bro?
Yeah.
Because I was paying half the wage for an employee in just taxes that was going into the ether.
I don't know if it was just Illinois law specifically or in the big beautiful bill, but he had legislation for small businesses to not have to pay so much tax.
Oh, I don't know about that one. He had the like no taxes on tips thing in the big beautiful bill.
Yeah, that's why I don't remember if it was Illinois legislation. Because
that can't be true. I hope so.
No, dude, Illinois lawmakers are trying to fight back against Pritzker's bullcrap stuff pretty hard because he's trying to hit us really bad. Right where it hurts, which is Illinois is a whole bunch of farmland, and he's trying to keep that estate tax in, which is just weeding out all the families from inheriting the farmland because they've set the government set the prices on the crops. They made it where it's not a profitable business, so it doesn't matter how well you farm, you never make that much money, and then guess what? Then they put on this estate tax, so then if it gets handed down, you can only keep the property if you pay the estate tax, which is the accruant tax on the sustained value that it's gained over the time that the family's had it. And guess what? As we know, just a couple of years, real estate prices have went way up. So imagine what that means for the family farm over a generation. Way, way up. These people don't have money just sitting in the bank. The operation barely goes as it is. So what are they supposed to do? Take out a huge loan they're going to be paying off the rest of their life just so they kept the family farm? What happens for the next kid then when they got to do it again? They're trying to weed us out of having our farms so Bill Gates can buy all the farmland.
And it gets rid of generational wealth.
Yeah. Yeah, they're weeding out the middle class and trying to gain control of our food supply.
Yep.
Even
100%.
more.
100%.
Luckily, there's some Illinois lawmakers trying really hard. But yeah, I heard something on they are trying to cut small business taxes. I don't remember if it was federal or state.
That's interesting, man.
Yeah. Criminals. They're the real criminals. Trying to steal our land off pen and paper instead of fighting us like men. You know, if you want to show up and say, yeah, let's have a bare knuckle brawl, and if I end up beating you, I get stakes to your farm. Yeah, that'd be a lot more respectable than this paper bullshit, I'd say.
I mean, yeah, less civilized though.
I mean, yeah, definitely less civilized, and it is definitely. I mean, what if they send in, Nick Diaz to fight you? Then you're running. You got a real run.
Cheating.
Now you got a real run for your money. You might actually lose it just off a little battle there.
So this is a little bit back to the Cash and Bongino talking about an Epstein story. But I thought this was a great example of how our side of things just doesn't agree with everything our people say, and sometimes to our own fault, right? So even Alex Jones felt like posting. He was like, Cash and Don Bongino said, hey, yeah, Epstein did delete himself. I don't know about all that, bro. They got, he said, on top of the lost and erased, security camera tapes, there was a technical error. And then the security guards fell asleep. And then nobody was watching at all when he was supposed to be on 24 special watch and everything. Kooky shit going on, man.
Just not only one or two coincidences, 3 to 6.
There are rumors and video you can search which claims nitrous oxide was used to knock the guards out, which then Epstein was taken out by another individual. Others claim the guards were paid not to talk. Big movie conspiracy, but shit, bro. They make movies based on real stories, dog. All them movies aren't 100% made up bullshit stories, in my humble opinion.
Or they do those movies to tell us what's going to be happening for the free will.
With some movie magic embellishment of a real story, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this sounds like crazy stuff, dog, but I've hung out in the conspiracy world for way too long, man. This makes more sense than... Yeah, he just decided he decided it was the end of the line. And when he did that, it just so happened that the guards fell asleep, the security cameras turned off, and the tapes were deleted. Occam's razor, easiest possibilities, the most likely. Dude.
Our technician figured that out of ease of maintenance, we would make the systems reboot every night at the same time and erase the past data if it hadn't been claimed already, so we'd have free space. He just thought that'd be a smart idea.
So he points out, are you connecting the dots former FBI director James Comey, the guy that just like brought up the 8647 thing, right?
Yep.
His daughter is the one who lost the Jeffrey Epstein jail cell CCTV tapes. Like, there's a lot of connections going on. That's pretty interesting.
You'd think she wouldn't have been able to be in place of that as a conflict of interest.
Well, it has nothing to do with James Comey. It's just, happens to be his daughter that was in this.
I mean, she must have got the silver spoon into the bureau.
And they're all probably on the, like, the special group chat that's like, yeah. We need this to go away.
Hey, hackers, if there's ever a time to
and what happened to Good Anonymous?
Find some evidence.
What happened to Good Anonymous, man? What happened to
Yeah, they probably all got locked up.
white hat hackers, bro? What happened to them? Oh, yeah, here. I think I got the clip.
I keep seeing the Dan and thinking, me? Huh? What do I got to do with this?
Please keep your eye on this case. I can't emphasize to you enough. This Epstein thing is there's more than meets the eye there. I know a lot of people want to make this thing go away. There is absolutely no way that the now CIA director, Catherine Rumler, and everyone else didn't know they were talking to a sex offender. The question is, why were they talking to him and what were they trying to make go away? Does it have anything to do with the extensive video network alleged to have existed on his island and on his plane? What were they fixing? We'll see. Folks, please.
You're a real good actor there, Dan. So was he just, faking this to like run a podcast where he makes tons of money? And this is just his day job where he just talks bullshit, bro, and he's in on everything? It's so strange that he was this vehement about this, man. And then he gets in and now he's just like, Epstein killed self. No.
Yeah, you gotta wonder maybe they got dirt on him. Maybe they got him cornered now.
What I told my friend when we were talking about this earlier, I was like, man, his morals seem uncorruptible. However, he has a family. And then, it's a stupid movie comparison, but watch a lot of superhero movies, bro. What do you learn? Superhero cannot have anything he loves. It will all be used against him as leverage. So if you actually want to be a really awesome good guy in this world, bro, you cannot have shit. Yeah. And that's why I don't think we got no good guys, bro, because nobody want to do some like lonely ass life or some shit and just be the good guy.
It sucks.
Right? So
it shouldn't be that way.
I hope to goodness.
What it should be is a family all in for it together, just like how the Comeys obviously are in it together.
All right, bro. And then something, you do this shtick, make a bunch of money and pay for really good security and teach your kids jiu-jitsu. Like, good God.
Krav Maga, poke him in the eyes, kick him in the dick.
Yeah.
Or the cooter.
Like,
they both hurt.
So hopefully,
kick
man,
him in the genitals, poke him in the
they
eyes.
start coming out with some kind of facts on the Epstein thing, but it's technically not important, but it is. I don't know, man. Hopefully that shit changes. And the last thing I got is just this week's reminder of Trump suing NBC for $10 billion because of that Kamala Harris interview. Editing.
Yeah.
So if you got somebody you think needs to see this, folks, locals.mass-.com in that description box down below. It'll take you right over to the locals community that we've been running through the feed all night on. And, you can go there for free and read along. And if you want to support the show, you can use the promo code BetterNewsFeed and you can join, post your own thingies, and comment down below under them. And it's, not censored by big tech, just censored by me. So you can't talk nonsense. I'll cut it out. But I would love for you to come here, post along through the week, and bring some things that you think people need to get awareness to. Because this is a good one to share right here, folks. This is a good one to share to your friend that Just don't believe the nonsense the lamestream news media be putting out there.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
Well, Bill, the work that we have done has resulted in a number of movements in that region by Israel that were very much prompted by or a result of many things, including our advocacy for what needs to happen in the region.
But it seems that Prime Minister Netanyahu is not listening.
We're not going to stop pursuing what is necessary for the United States to be clear about where we stand on the need for this war to end.
But it seems that
them's way different.
Way different.
If you couldn't tell, the first one was, the bumbly around pausing and things, and they edited it to make it look like she could just speak normal.
She was actually not totally sloshed off the Congress free open bar.
I can't believe he's suing him for $10 billion, though. That's wacko.
I mean, how many billions were they trying to get off him?
Yeah, right, bro. I don't think they got to $1 billion yet. They was up to like 300, 600 mil.
I thought it was somewhere around $1 billion with the New York case.
Could have been like add them all up. Got to like $1 billion, right? Because the New York one I think was like 600 or something like that. Dan's about to pass out. We gotta go pumpkin, everybody.
It's starting to really set in now.
Dan's got sleep of mortis over here, man. He's jealous of Niltamir.
yeah. It must have been what set it in. I was like, oh, it's sleepy time out there? Great.
Oh, if you're hanging out here, folks, thanks for passing out with the show on. It's great for the numbers. Make sure to do that again next week. But if you did fall asleep, just pull it back up and check it out, Make sure to share the show out to a friend, family, or foe. And, help spread the thing. If you got a computer, hit that signup.toleratetech.com down below to tell you more information about how me, Scott, can be your new tech guy. Help yourself be more secure and less stressed on the internet, and get a like-minded, friend to help you out with your computer stuff.
It's always good to have a friendly voice to help you with the stuff that is so frustrating and unfriendly sometimes towards you.
And talk crap about the libtards.
Yep, that's always a fun one. Or, just if you are slightly liberal yourself, maybe a gentle getting to hear some news points that you may have never heard before, like the fine people hoaxes.
Yeah.
Not a real thing. And then coming to realization while your tech comes to awareness that it is fixed. And it didn't need to be a butthead and break, but it happens. And sometimes that's what you need to get you matched up with a guy that's going to give you that little bit of tidbit in your life that might change it all around.
Heck yeah, dude. And I got a bunch of classical liberal clients, man. So we have a good fun time talking. They talk crap about what do you call them? The right-tards? Conservatards?
Yeah, kind of like those guys that were yelling at Hillary.
Yeah.
Got the right side of things, but not the right antics and
not the right approach
behind it.
Yeah. So thank you very much for showing up, folks. I hope y'all have a great week. We will see you next time on Zeo Truthercast.
Zeo Truthercast.
We got the 2. We got the 1. And then, we're going to go say, all right.
All right.
Oh.